welcome back. Yes, Nasi Good Morning Naija show, and we stand Gigba on top this station this morning. Now, we want to talk and before say SERAP supposed get a CSO award because now they don't carry Nigeria matter for head in terms of to tell us where money miss, where enter, who no collect, who no give account. Today in Saturday, we get to go Kolawole Oluwadare, will be Deputy Director of SERAP in the inside studio here with us, and then they uncover some kind money them. I know say yesterday we talked about what we said then discover for 2016 when they begin shout. So what's happened? 2016. Now they discover them for 2021. Before our camera give us action, in the time he say the thing don't already did here since, but it be like say million not too small for our ear now. So if the money not enter billion and trillion, we're not the reason now.
Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to SERAP. Because what people say when they do is not easy. I can make us the one that say now unless SERAP be the CSO when in Nigeria, so why on I carry this matter on top of our head. But the reason why I carry on top of our head, of course, is not far-fetched and make the country for better, make Nigerians too for ask question. But I will just give us a rundown of what SERAP don't uncover in the past few months and from where they uncover this missing billions them lately.
Then when you said the word uncover, it makes it look like investigative journalism. But actually, I think that's a good word for it, though, given the work that we do. It's the report by the Auditor General of the Federation. And to give a bit of context, the Auditor General of the Federation is created by the Nigerian Constitution, and that's by Section 85. He is that public officer who has been given that power to look into all the account books of all government public institutions, which is sort of audit. And like the name suggests, he audits those accounts. Yes. Basically, it's matching allocation of funds to expenditure and seeing the proof of such funds. And so the law empowers him to produce a report every year stating his findings and making recommendations where he finds, so just like a normal audit, for funds that could not be accounted for. So he publishes that report every year. So SERAP had been doing a lot of advocacy on those reports, just like every citizen should do, by the way. And so this one concerns the 2016 report, where the Auditor General, who is a public official, is a civil servant appointed by the president, incidentally, discovered that over 4.1 billion naira could not be accounted for by the National Assembly. That report is voluminous, by the way. We're talking of several pages of various arms of government. And so this is just a tiny part of it about the National Assembly that they could not account for these funds. And there are various sub-headings, some sittings for some committees in the House, payments made to so-called legislative aids, each under specific headings, stating the amounts of money. But what is interesting, which I think it's quite worrisome that nothing will be done about that, is that the Auditor General always gives recommendations, and he recommended clearly that those funds should be refunded. And now, more than any time, we have a growing deficit of over 5 trillion in our budget, with growing inflation, and this is the time to cut cost and governance. And you can imagine if we can have all these funds come into the government coffers, it will go a long way to execute the various capital projects that we hear government complain about all the time. All right,
so Gakola, again, what we would like to discuss for this show, say to fight corruption, information must be available to people, make them foresee where their money they first go. You don't already talk and say, Auditor General don't already do this matter, keep. In don't audit these people accounts, in don't see where money go, where money no enter. Some people when they hear and they talk say, now because they're not CSO now people want to get group and then if you get access to this information. How difficult or how easy it is to lay hand on top of this report? May not be like say you get people who say they appoint Nigerian class captain so they do this kind of work. How easy it is for make the ordinary citizens if you get this information, may they themselves carry their own calculator, press pim.
It's easy to see. It's on the website of the Auditor General of the Federation. I don't know the website offhand now, but you can always Google it. The office of the Auditor General of the Federation. It's on
so what SERAP just do be say, instead of just to read and say, oh, they don't release, una carry una own calculator self, enter inside, begin the, I think una they hear, say, the work to fight corruption, our hand, did everybody hand in day. Not be saying only SERAP, now they carry do class captain, on top corruption matter for Nigeria. You mentioned something also very key. Say recommendation when you give be say if una not use this money, make una return them as it be. We dey talk here for our studio yesterday. Say, you get anybody when don't return money where they not use before for this country? Get any ministry when don't look their budget, say we not spend this amount of billions. Make we let them know, say this money still. So when we draw our budget for next time, it not go reflect. From your findings, how far?
It's possible,
okay,
but I am not aware of any.
We don't do
and again, I must say clearly, just because I am not aware of any doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But it may be under different circumstances. This is audit.
Yes.
It might be under the natural process of appropriation and then maybe trying to get allocation for another year. But I am not aware of any.
Or the matter when they did.
Yes.
Okay, now the cocoa for the matter when we say, report on they say, truly, you get where money no enter. You get where money we say no not use. The cocoa now be say, it ever day possible to return that money. We talk about also on discover for waiting 2016, 17, 18. Now 2021 now we did so. Hey, we could look at matter. Where the possibility of to return that money?
It's very possible.
How?
It's very possible. All we need is just the political will to give effect to the laws. So it's not. This is not an absence of laws or a regulatory framework that would guide this. It is just to enforce the laws. And again, it's very important to point this out that one of the functions of the Auditor General by the Constitution is that he sends these reports to the National Assembly.
Yes.
Incidentally,
the
this is
same
the National
people,
Assembly, yes.
When we say when they talk, say, now you now hand money miss,
yes,
we can't carry reports, can't give them back again.
That's what the law says, Section 85 sub 5 of the Constitution. Says he sends it to the National Assembly, both houses, but they have a Public Accounts Committee who reviews these reports. They can do their own findings. The Constitution gives them that powers, and then they are supposed to make resolutions, including calling for investigations. And so what SERAP has done is saying, and we copy the anti-corruption agencies too, can you investigate these claims, not by SERAP, but by the Auditor General of the Federation, and if anyone is found culpable, the law takes its course. And we have laws, of course, that guide recovery of stolen funds. We've seen the FCC do that all the time. So it's not, what we just need is a political will to give effect to those laws. And to answer your question clearly, yes, funds can be refunded.
That how you talk now, you know, to answer, as you just, the answer say yes, they possible. Say, oh, my ear don't sharp, say make I hear. As you just mentioned political will, I did my hand for. Because we not say political will is scarce for this country. It's scarce. If they talk about EFCs, we not say that to follow individuals. And sometimes, some of the prosecution, not the past we see inside paper, and waiting we go see on top television. Once one or two fainting don't happen, we're not to hear the case again. What you don't talk now also they bit disturbing because you don't talk and say when they get a report, then go submit and where to the National Assembly. When we say now for their hand, now matter spoil. You don't already talk, say of course, you get some other one we say then go sit down, then go review. You always ask that question, say who go check the checker? From what I don't do over time, we talk through any outcome don't come out. Anybody don't sit down and review on a report to even want start investigation.
In fact, that is why we're in court on some of these issues against the National Assembly itself and the president. Of course, the president is the chief executive officer.
Anti-graft agencies, they don't make any moves, so they don't put reports down.
Yes, we were at the FCC, I think, last month, and on 2 occasions before that, to defend some of those petitions that we'd written. And I believe investigation is ongoing. That's what we're told, and we quite believe that that system would work. But we're yet to see the outcome of that. And ultimately, it doesn't stop at investigation anyway. It should go on to prosecution if there are grounds to prosecute.
But from what you don't see, from the writing on the wall, they say the third person safe rain they fall. You know, they need to tell person they feel that. From what you don't see, you feel say this thing go move anywhere. We could tell ourselves true.
Only Daniel can read the writing on the wall.
So
I'm not Daniel. It's quite possible. But you know, like I've said, political will cannot be manufactured, at least not by me. And so what the people can do, which I think is one of the things we're doing right now, is to get people to engage government and hold government accountable. So it means there is a law. There are public institutions and public officers that should enforce those laws. So what is the job of the citizen? It is to bring pressure to bear on those people to do what the law says they should do, which is why we're having this discussion. So every Nigerian needs to understand what the law says. You don't have to be a lawyer to know the basics of what the law says. And then what you can do within legally to bring pressure to bear on the public officer. So in this instance, the least I would expect from any Nigerian is, you know the people representing you at the National Assembly, can you begin to leverage on that to write letters, emails, phone calls, whatever? You do a lot of talk shows, people call in. Can we begin to do that to ask them, what is your position on this matter? What are you doing? This is what we want you to do. That is why they are there, to represent us. And that is the least we can do, really. And it's very good if we start from there.
What if we won't even sit down and see, be say, like, they would like to talk, say, of course, money get trail. Anyhow, now we say you look the matter. Make we look what really investigation go free enter into something. Now that's the thing they first start from. To say, yes, they release the money, see where you go, see person when corner hand, see person when no corner hand. Until then, as you don't talk and I go they pray, say that political will, then go resurrect them. We'll put it that way to fit pursue the matter.
I think we should do more than prayer. We should demand. Prayer is sort of demand anyway. So prayer is demanding from God or whatever you.
You know, say when we don't sit down here several times talk about what they happen for country. You don't talk and say, of course, they there for law. You know, when they back up some of these issues to say prosecute, make we know what's in the matter. Day, make we just draw small from Jusun strike when they happen as we did. So these are lawyers. When we say don't sit down and say, well, not they do again. Until we now do waiting day inside constitution. These are lawyers when they follow us, they help us to interpret the law. Governors themselves see them, see Korokoro as today. So it get where the matter reach as you don't talk and this one a matter against National Assembly. We now carry the report, say, see the report against una will they give them to you. This will not reach where lawyers then they don't interpret them. See what in law talk. Now we still they suffer the matter. Till today I was so sad that's how they look ourselves as we did. So when I look this matter sometimes, when we don't discuss and sometimes even off air, you go just pause, say, okay, which way? Yeah. You know? Which way? But we must really thank SERAP for what they do because it's not easy. As you don't talk and say, not be say, you get secret password when they use do now own the information they out there. I believe, say, if other CSOs and other Nigerians as well do this, I don't call them saying as simple acts, but just, you know, take a step to say, you know, they shout, say, freedom of information. Information don't they open out there. What do they do with the information when they? I believe, say, if more voices, you know, follow for this cause when they do, even when through hashtag or through more letters, maybe person go shake body somewhere. Maybe that political will, person go try, put oil for the engine to ensure, say, this matter then see the light of it. Thank you very much, Okakola Wale.
Thank you.
Fantastic work when they do. Fingers crossed on this matter. We pray, say, we go also, our voice, they loud to they make our own demands as they go. We discuss SERAP matter since, and also the discoveries then. But you know, Wale don't talk, say not be discovery. He said the matter did there, then just use their own calculator, do pim pom pom, ask question on top the matter.